in the sprawling, chaotic city of Karachi. A name once echoed through the labyrinthine streets of Lyari, a name that commanded both fear and a strange, twisted form of respect, Rahman Dakait. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the man who rose from the dusty alleyways to become one of the most powerful and notorious gangsters in Pakistan's history. This isn't just a tale of crime, it's a story about power, poverty, and the complex web that connects them. Our story begins in Lyari, a neighborhood known for its vibrant culture but also for its deep-seated poverty and neglect. It was here in the 1980s that a young Abdul Rehman Baloch started his journey. He wasn't born into a life of crime. In fact, his early years were unremarkable. He worked as a small-time transporter, a simple man trying to make a living in a tough environment. But Lyari was a tinderbox, and it was only a matter of time before a spark would ignite the flames of conflict. The turning point came with the rise of gang warfare. Rival groups were carving up the neighborhood, and to survive, you had to pick a side. Rahman, witnessing the violence and extortion firsthand, was drawn into the underworld. He joined a local gang, but he was different. He was ambitious, charismatic, and possessed a natural talent for leadership. He quickly learned the brutal rules of the street, understanding that power was the only currency that mattered. It wasn't long before Rahman, now known as Rahman Dakait, Rahman the Bandit, decided to form his own group. He wasn't just another thug, he was a strategist. He recognized the deep-seated resentment the people of Lyari felt towards the state and the police, who they saw as corrupt and oppressive. He positioned himself as a protector, a local hero. His gang provided a semblance of order where the state had failed. They settled disputes, provided financial help, and stood up against rival gangs who preyed on the locals. This Robin Hood persona was key to his rise. He wasn't just feared, he was, in many circles, admired. The gang, which would later become infamous as the Peoples Aman Committee, grew in strength and influence. Their operations expanded far beyond petty street crime. They became involved in large-scale extortion, drug trafficking, and kidnapping for ransom, activities that generated millions. Rahman's network was vast. He had eyes and ears everywhere, from the local street vendor to alleged contacts within the police and political circles. His control over Lyari was absolute. No one could enter or leave without his knowledge. He ran a parallel government, a state within a state. To understand Rahman's power, you have to understand the political landscape of Karachi. The city was and still is a battleground for various ethnic and political parties. Rahman Dakait proved to be a valuable, if dangerous, ally. Politicians saw his ability to mobilize voters and control a volatile constituency as a huge asset. This unholy alliance gave him a cloak of protection. He could operate with a degree of impunity that was shocking. There were numerous police operations launched to capture him, but he always seemed to be one step ahead, often tipped off by his powerful friends. He became a ghost, a legend whispered about in police stations and government offices. Life under Rahman's rule in Lyari was a paradox. On one hand, there was a brutal crackdown on dissent. Anyone who challenged his authority faced severe consequences. The streets were battlegrounds where his gang clashed violently with rivals, particularly the one led by his arch-nemesis, Arshad Pappu. The sound of gunfire was a regular part of life, but on the other hand, for those who complied, there was a strange kind of peace. Street crime within Lyari, not controlled by his gang, was low. He was the law. His personal life was as dramatic as his criminal career. He was known to be a family man, and stories circulated about his generosity to his community. He sponsored weddings, funded education, and even organized sports tournaments. He built a personality cult around himself, projecting an image of a benevolent Don, a protector of the Baloch community in Lyari. This duality is what makes his story so compelling. Was he a cold-blooded criminal or a product of a failed system? A man forced into a life of violence to protect his people. The truth, as it often is, lies somewhere in the murky middle. But as the old saying goes, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. Rehman's empire, built on a foundation of violence and illicit deals, was destined to crumble. His growing power made him too big, too influential. His political patrons, who once used him, now saw him as a liability. The public pressure to crack down on crime in Karachi was immense, and the focus inevitably turned to Lyari and its infamous kingpin. The state's patience was wearing thin. The security forces began to tighten the noose. Elite police units, armed with better intelligence and a clear mandate, launched a series of targeted operations. The political protection that had kept him safe for so long began to evaporate. His enemies, both in the underworld and in the corridors of power, were closing in. The alliances that had defined his rise were now shifting against him. The final chapter of Rahman Dakait's life was written on a hot night in August 2009. The details are still debated, shrouded in the kind of mystery that befits a man like him. The official police report states that he was killed in a shootout with a police team led by the famous officer Chaudhry Aslam. They claim to have cornered him near the Steel Town area, far from his Lyari stronghold. A fierce gun battle ensued, and when the smoke cleared, Rahman Dakait was dead. However, many people, especially in Lyari, don't believe the official story. They whisper that he was captured alive, taken to a secret location, and executed. They point to the fact that a man who had evaded capture for so long, a man known for his cunning and security, would not be caught so easily in a random encounter. Was it a legitimate police encounter or a calculated elimination? We may never know for sure, but his death marked the end of an era. The fall of Rahman Dakait left a massive power vacuum in Lyari. His death did not bring peace. Instead, it triggered an even more vicious and bloody turf war. His once mighty gang splintered into factions, each fighting for a piece of the empire. The violence that followed was worse than anything seen during his reign. His successor, Uzair Baloch, took the reins, but the delicate balance of power that Rahman had maintained was gone forever. The Peoples Aman Committee was eventually banned, and a full-scale operation was launched to cleanse Lyari of its gangs. Looking back, the story of Rahman Dakait is a powerful lesson. It's a testament to how poverty, state neglect, and political opportunism can create monsters. He was a symptom of a much larger disease. While his methods were brutal and his crimes undeniable, his rise was fueled by the genuine grievances of a community left behind. He offered a twisted form of justice where the official system had failed them. His legacy is a complicated one. To the state, he was a terrorist and a crime lord. To his rivals, he was a ruthless enemy. But to some in the heart of Lyari, his memory is tinged with a strange nostalgia, a time when they had a powerful, albeit dangerous protector who spoke their language and understood their struggles. The story of Rahman Dakait is more than just a crime saga. It's a mirror reflecting the dark and complex realities of power, politics, and survival in one of the world's most challenging urban landscapes. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life of one of Pakistan's most notorious figures. If you found this story compelling, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the hidden corners of history. Let us know in the comments what you think about Rahman Dakait's story. Was he a villain, a product of his circumstances, or something else entirely? We'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next one.